Arguably one of the best superhero movies of 2022 and one of the really best movies of 2022 was Matt Reeves' The Batman, and it has finally been released on streaming platforms, or at least a streaming platform that I have access to, Netflix. Whenever I first saw this movie, I saw it twice in theaters, and I thought it was really good, and I haven't seen it since, so I decided to go back and watch it again, The Batman's even better than I remember it being. An absolutely perfect movie, no. But is it really damn good? Yeah. And I remember sitting in my high school class years ago whenever Robert Pattinson got announced as the new Batman, and I remember just slamming my head on my desk, being like, "Oh my fucking god, they let that vampire in to be Batman." And yet now Robert Pattinson is a phenomenal Bruce Wayne, and it's a phenomenal film. And I feel like the main issue of why people can't just come out and openly say that the Batman is better than The Dark Knight is because The Dark Knight has Heath Ledger in it, has Christian Bale in it. Heath Ledger probably is the best part of that film, but also the Batman's main issue is that it's really, 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 really long, and it doesn't grip your attention for all of it. There's some spans in there that's, you're kind of like, okay. And that's how I felt about the Batman, but overall, it's, in my opinion, it's probably the better movie. Going back and watching it, even I was surprised to be remembered how gorgeous the movie is, how beautifully it's shot, how incredible Gotham looks, the red hue and theme, and just, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous film. Everybody in it is just phenomenal in this film. And when I say everybody, I mean that the cast of this movie is insane. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright, Andy Serkis, John Turturro, oh man, I know who he is. I just can't remember his last. I can't remember how to pronounce his name. You know what I'm talking about. John Turturro. Barry Keoghan, Peter Sarsgaard, Alex Ferns, Max Carver. Who else is in this movie? Those are the big ones, but unless I'm missing anybody. Yeah, those are the big ones. Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright, Andy Serkis. You know who I'm talking about. The cast is just insane. And I've always said with a movie, if you have an interesting exposition with the right director and the right cast, you can do magic if you just have the right script. And Matt Reeves has the right script for this film. They put you in Gotham better than any superhero movie really has ever done. And it's just damn good. It's just damn good. The one thing that I really liked about this movie is that it didn't feel it's art first, really. They really focus on the feeling and the themes and the performances and the cinematography above everything else. The cinematography is super important. And the one thing that I really love about this movie too is that The Batman it's a political crime thriller. It's not your typical run-of-the-mill action superhero movie. It's a thriller. It's a detective story. It makes you feel uneasy at times. And if The Batman was rated R, could you imagine the type of unsettling feeling that you can get? It reminds me a lot of Prisoners, which, oddly enough, Paul Dano is in, who, by the way, incredible choice to play the Riddler. Robert Pattinson made us all shut the fuck up, didn't he? With a young Bruce Wayne. And what I like about this movie as well is that it's an inexperienced year two Bruce Wayne. And Robert Pattinson hasn't found a way to be Bruce Wayne yet. He's still trying to figure out Batman, and Batman is who he is. He's not even really called Batman in this movie until the end. He's Vengeance or whatever. And I think that's what's really exciting me about the Batman 2 2025 is that they're probably going to focus a little more on Robert Pattinson becoming that Bruce Wayne billionaire playboy alter ego. I mean, Zoe Kravitz is Selena Kyle, Catwoman in this film, incredible. Paul Dano, again, unbelievable. Colin Farrell is getting his own Penguin show. The fact that that's Colin Farrell is fucking crazy. Jeffrey Wright is a great a great James Gordon. Andy Serkis, Alfred, phenomenal. And then Carmine Falcone, John, shit, hold on. John Turturro. Sure, whatever. He's great as Carmine Falcone. Isn't that weird? I've known this actor my entire life. I can't pronounce his last name. And Barry Keoghan, I'm excited to see. We're probably going to run into him in the third or fourth installment of this universe, this Batman solo universe that they're creating as the Joker. And I like how Matt Reeves he's setting that up for the future. There's a really great deleted scene that was released probably 6 months ago of Barry Keoghan's Joker and Batman, Robert Pattinson, sitting down having a conversation, kind of like a Silent of the Lambs type thing. And it would have been brilliant to have in the movie, but I understand why they cut it, because this is a 3-hour movie and it feels every bit of 3 hours. But sitting down and watching it, while it does get hard and it loses my attention at times, it brings you back in too. It finds a way to bring you back in. I mean, it's just shot beautifully. Matt Reeves just did a fantastic job, and I just wanted to bring it back and talk about that. This movie, I recommend you go back and you watch it if you haven't seen it in a long time, like I haven't, to be reminded that this is what you could get. Realistically, James Gunn's universe, I mean, it could focus. I mean, it's going to be quality because it's James Gunn. But, like, could you imagine if you had the DC universe focused on really great quality, thriller, mind-invoking movies like this and create a universe around it? Matt Reeves seems more interested in kind of keeping his universe in his thing, and I respect that completely. And I don't hate that idea as well. But, yeah, I mean, I think it's just funny how, whenever Robert Pattinson was announced, I think I'm not an unpopular opinion whenever I say we were all kind of a little nervous by that. But I mean, he blew it out of the fucking water, and I can't wait to see what Robert Pattinson does as Batman in the future, and I can't wait to see what Matt Reeves does with this universe. 2025, the Batman, I can't wait. It should be phenomenal. It seems like they're going to be doing another kind of. I think this universe is kind of going to be a crime thriller detective type feel, noir type feel, and they're kind of doing a Clayface thing where I think it's just going to be the human version of Clayface, or a more realistic style of Clayface. But I would like to build up to a Joker story, or a Court of Owls story. But really, you got to put the Joker in these movies. I think that you should have him be that Hannibal Lecter character throughout the movies. But I'm so excited. I hope that they continue to do this movie for years to come, or these movies for years to come, and Matt Reeves doesn't get overworked or bored with it. I think that's, I think it's a miracle at the writer's strike that we might get this movie in 2025, the Batman 2. But the Batman 1, phenomenal. It's a great movie before it's a great Batman movie. And I think it's probably the best Batman movie we've ever gotten. And I can't wait to see what Matt Reeves does next. And yeah, sure, like I said, it's a really long movie and it feels like a really long movie. I would rather you release one really long, great movie every 3-4 years than, 2 hour, 1 hour, 45 minute mediocre movies every year. Make your art. Work on it, care about it, be passionate about it. Let Matt Reeves cook. Let the director cook. and it's just really exciting. So yeah, The Batman, I urge you to go back and watch it on Netflix and check it out, and I think you'll be surprised just how much better we thought it was. Anyways, peace, love, bye.